you ever buy a box of cookies at the grocery store and you have every intention of sharing it, but somehow those cookies never make it home?
That's a cookie crime. I'm Diana and this is Riley, and we're the owners of Cookie Crimes Ice Creamery in downtown Lethbridge.
When we did a word cloud exercise to try and come up with the name, it wasn't really getting us anywhere. We had all of these themes and we managed to capture all those themes in Cookie Crimes.
We really struggled with the name itself, and eventually we put cookies and ice cream in an anagram creator, and it came up with Ace Cookie Crimes, and I was like, Cookie Crimes, that's it, that's our name, Cookie Crimes Ice Creamery.
So for me, I've worked on several different projects to become self-employed, and I ended up on an ice cream kick, and here I am.
I've been a stay-at-home mom. I've always had a love and passion for baking, and people have always enjoyed my cookies, so I just figured, why not start something with my cookies? The next logical step was to open a store. Our
journey that landed us with cookies and ice cream, the sky's the limit on where you want to put your life's work. We really saw the negativity in our society, people being more divided. We kind of see this as a way of bringing about some help for our community. Well, the reason we have such a large dining room is because we want to focus on people hanging out and communicating with each other again. And so we think that we're a force for good, we're helping our community, and it's hopefully overall healthier because of it. I think we've all had that realization how important it is to take care of ourselves, whether it's protecting your own physical health, but also especially mental health and the tolls of being isolated from people. I recognize the importance of community and being around each other. As our business grows and we're actually positioned in a way to do more community work and support, I think that's something that really weaves heavily into our values. And I see our business as being something where people can actually consciously take an act of self-care and prioritize, it's okay to have a treat. Take a moment, savor life a little bit. And I think it's important that we focus on those things. And I think that's one of the reasons why we're here.
And even just in the creating of Cookie Crimes, this idea was born during COVID. The world was just a very scary place for 2-3 years. And Cookie Crimes, it has become a place where we can forget about all those things. Even if it's just for a minute, you can come in and you can feel safe, you can feel recharged, you can connect with your friends and family. Some of the things that we do in the community, we participate in a lot of community-based events. We also have free bottles of water that are always refrigerated, available to anybody. Our bathrooms are also open all the time, so anyone can feel comfortable using the bathroom, and we feel that that's very important, that everyone can come and feel welcome and have a safe place to be and not feel judged or anything. We have a lot of customers that told us that they really enjoy that we are so welcoming and that there's a safe place for them to come. To us, that's really important, is giving back to the community. You live and work in a community, and you might as well give back to it. We definitely try our best to have something for everybody. So we do have some vegan cookies. We have gluten-free cookies. A lot of our products are nut-free as well. We are working on some more dairy-free options in frozen treats. They can't call them ice cream because they don't have any cream in them with the dairy-free, but we are working on them so that people can come in and be excited to spend time enjoying delicious treats with their friends and family.
Yeah, about the only customer class you wouldn't be able to reach is maybe sugar-free. That's going to be a hard one for us being in the dessert business. And unofficially, I would say that our motto is something for everyone.
I think the biggest surprise in the last year is the amount of community support that we've actually received from people and supporting our dream. Realizing that we made this happen. This has been a long, hard journey to get to a year. Every step of the way has been worth it. It's been hard to be away from my family, especially for me. Being away, I've been a stay-at-home mom for the last 8 years, so being away from my kids for longer times of the day is harder than I thought, but it's still worth it to show them that if you have dreams, you can achieve them. You just have to put in the work, and it is 100% worth it. I had a youth leader that was in her 70s at the time, and she used to always say, you're never too old to do something that you believe in or that you want to do, and I've always embraced that as well.
When you get frustrated, you can take that energy and you can focus it into something. Now, we focused it into something wildly dangerous with our finances, high risk, but high reward potentially, right? For me, the biggest surprise when we did this is because we had to really separate work and family a little bit more. Diana's having to work later hours. So I've had this kind of surprising resurgence in becoming a bit of the family man again. Now I'm on point. I've got to be there focusing on teaching our children, making sure everybody's fed, in addition to churning the ice cream. So that's been like a really nice silver lining in a way. I feel a lot closer to our kids. It's been hard. I mean, I feel like I had a full head of hair when we started, and not so much anymore.
We are a team, and we actually balance each other out a lot more than I ever thought we would. I like to say that I am the face and the heart of Cookie Crimes, where Riley is the brain and the behind the scenes.
The brain and the behind.
The brain and the behind. Yes, and he does a lot. Without that support, I don't think Cookie Crimes could be as successful as we are.
I'm just proud we're not bankrupt yet. But among that, I mean, the amount of cookies and flavors of ice cream that we were able to put out in a year, we've averaged over one new release per week of ice cream specifically, yeah. I guess.
But I'm proud of each and every one of the flavors that we have and have developed. It makes me so ecstatic that people keep coming back.
Yeah, I never thought I'd be making ice cream. Honestly, it was just a dream one night. And I didn't even know anything about how ice cream was made, and found it was a lot of fun and really tickles that curiosity center of my brain, a little bit of mad scientist, and here we are. I don't have any family recipes to really rely on, but I do like food a lot, and you can probably tell. It kind of helps when you kind of just get curious about interesting combinations. I was playing around with cranberries a little while ago. There's some neat things you can kind of mix together there. I mean, even bad ice cream is pretty good, so.
A lot of times it's just things that I like. Things like our root beer cookie. I'm like, ooh, I wonder if you could make a root beer cookie. Let's try it. And it surprisingly worked, and it tastes like a root beer float, and it actually pairs really nicely with our vanilla ice cream as an ice cream sandwich, right? So,
yeah.
You know, it's like a root beer float sandwich. A lot of times, though, I just look at recipes and go, oh, how can I make this just a little bit better? Who would have ever thought potato chips would have gone well in a cookie? Just combining the sweet and the savory and the salty and all of those good, delicious ingredients to make such an amazing cookie that is well loved. A lot of times it's just, what can we throw in to make it better?
Yeah, we do take inspirations from the public as well. Most recently, we worked with Colbanks Elementary School. We came in and we actually churned several batches of ice cream in their classroom with them, taught them about hot and cold and all the science behind cookies and ice cream. And then they were left with an assignment. Each class was going to invent their own ice cream flavors. We ended up making 2 different flavors. One of them was a little bit more classic. It was a key lime cheesecake ice cream. And we went whole hog. We even baked cheesecake to cut up and put in there, everything from scratch. The other one was a little bit more unique. It was a root beer ice cream, but with like cookies from Cookies and Cream. I think it had a little bit of caramel bars, caramel in there, chocolate chips. It was just kind of an interesting, almost like a Harry Potter butterbeer kind of feel to it. We had the public vote on which flavor was the best, and it was down to a single vote between the 2 flavors.
We source our ingredients primarily as locally as possible. We do our best to keep our dollars within our local community and build that community of resources. Some of our ingredients have come as close as just down the street at Purple Apothecary with some of our spices and stuff that we've used in various different cookies or ice creams. A lot of times we also just go to the local grocery stores and pick up our milk and stuff from the grocery stores.
Yeah, the dairy industry is kind of such that you can't really import it too far. So just by virtue of that, we're supporting the local farm industry with our products. But yeah, we kind of have a bias towards the small business. We want the small business helping small business. I mean, what could be better than that?
I think probably the must-try item and our most popular item, the best of both worlds, is the ice cream sandwich. It is a build-your-own ice cream sandwich. I think we did the math the other day, and I think there's 512 current combinations of ice cream sandwiches. I very rarely made the same ice cream sandwich more than once. It really is the best of both of our products.
You know, everybody's sense of taste is very different. And even something as simple as vanilla can still be something that can be really savored and enjoyed. So I made sure that our vanilla ice cream is made with Mexican vanilla, so it has a little bit of a different flavor, and we definitely pumped up the vanilla in it, so it's quite strong. So there's always a way to put your own twist on something, make it unique, fun.
The sriracha ice cream is definitely a risk, but we also have had people really enjoy the sriracha ice cream. Surprisingly, with the heat and the coolness of the actual ice cream, it is a really weird mind trickery that is just an interesting flavor combination, but it also is a risk.
I'm pretty proud of our buttered popcorn ice cream as well. We make it with popcorn right from the movie mill. Once again, got to support the local guy. And just a little different, right? Sweet and savory as well. But we put a twist on it, throwing some M&Ms in your bag of popcorn in the theater. That's kind of a thing, right? So we just put our own little twist on it too. We've tried Old Bay cornbread ice cream. That one definitely was out there. I mean, that's seafood seasoning that we're putting in ice cream. And everybody that tried it liked it, but there's a lot of people that had hang-ups about that. That's why we have the safe offerings as well.
And with that too, we do have a satisfaction guarantee. So if somebody does try a flavor and they go, ooh, that's not really for me, we will change it out. In the first couple licks, if you're not satisfied with it, we're happy to change it out. We make everything in our store from scratch as much as possible. And that comes right down to making our cones as well. So we are making cones all the time, just so that you are getting fresh ingredients. But yeah, we do make everything in the store ourselves by hand.
Yeah, we made sure that everybody that wants a waffle cone gets a waffle cone. If you want a waffle cone, you get a waffle cone, because everybody wants a waffle cone.
We also make waffle cone chips to enjoy an extra little bit of cone. I really like to dip them into the ice cream. That I find is how I enjoy the cone the best. I like to have my scoop and then my chips and eat my chips. I don't really have a lot that I do outside of work. I do try my best to spend some time with my kids and with Riley, of course. But the main thing that I like to focus on is that I go to the gym and I work out, and I have been lucky enough to find a gym community with Fit Body Boot Camp here in town, where I feel supported and have a environment of caring, like-minded people that support me and cheer me on when I'm in the gym working out. You go in, you spend 35 minutes, it's quick, it's fast, but you're also feeling the effects of the workout. And when I'm working out, allows me to come in to my store and lift my giant mixing bowl and my 20 kilogram sacks of flour, sugar, and easily do those without struggling, and I benefit from that. So I do really enjoy going to the gym. I used to go to a gym where I would do some powerlifting, and for me, I really, really enjoyed the powerlifting. It was so much fun, and it was something I never ever thought that I would be a person that went to the gym and be a person that enjoyed doing things and lifting heavy things. And I really do enjoy it, and hopefully one day I'll be able to get back to powerlifting, because it was so much fun.
I really like making things. And so for me, anything I can do to explore that avenue. Woodworking was kind of an early hobby of mine, but even before that, When I was working at the movie mill, I made like a 12-foot tall Optimus Prime out of cardboard, and we stood it up in our lobby. And so that kind of thing just kind of really tickles me. For me, it's getting exactly what you want. There's a lot of furniture in our house that I made. I sleep on a bed frame that I built. And so for me, getting to work with my hands, getting to teach myself new skills, that just really engages my brain. And it's great, but it is something that makes me happy.
A lot of the things in our store have actually been built by Riley. And I felt that that was very important, that we incorporated some of our extra skills into our store. So our counter facade and the counters were made by Riley, and the pictures we have in the store, the pixel art as we like to call it, I'm very proud of him for making those. And they are very well liked and well received, and definitely went on with what we were trying to do with making it unique, but also bringing in elements of ourselves. He also does 3D printing, and so we have some 3D printed things in the store just to kind of incorporate those things as well. So
our tabletop, like the actual surfaces, are about the only thing I didn't build in there. And that was built by a man named Jacob, the Bearded Ox, so shout out another small business. But he ends up finding wood that has fallen in the neighborhood, in town. And so he mills it, he kiln dries it, and makes this fantastic resin art kind of combination thing. And he was so happy to make the tables for us, especially when I kind of gave him the project. And I'm like, you can just put any color you want, all the sparkles. And yeah, I think he did a great job. Everybody makes a comment. If first time there's so many things to point at and say, hey, this is kind of cool. And I think it's all within the vein of what we stand for. We're making all of our products from scratch as much as we can. And even the furniture in there comes from the surrounding town. We made it here.
If I were to go back and talk to myself, there's a lot of advice. There's going to be a lot of sweat, tears. There's still tears, sometimes even blood. But every step of the way is worth it. The journey is hard, it's long hours, but it is worth it to be able to show our children and be genuine. And I think all things are possible. And I know that past me is very proud of current us, and I will be proud of future us.
Yeah, when we opened, we were right on the tail end of when COVID was starting to relax a little bit. And so it was a risk. And I think if I were to talk to my past self, I'd reassure myself, things are going to get better, conditions are going to improve, people are going to start coming out again. Things are going to be okay, you just need to hold on, you need to be smart about things.
I think the location we have is perfect. And I feel like we just got really lucky. We happened to be looking at the right time. We have this amazing location literally in the heart of the city. If you look at the map inside of our store, we have pinned our location, the gold pin on the map of our city. You will notice that it is in the heart of the city on that map.
Yeah, it was a long path finding a location. We looked all over a number of commercial properties outside of downtown. Another odd thing about our store, I mentioned the vault. So our store used to be a cannabis shop, or I don't even know if it was open for terribly long. But with all the security required around opening such an establishment, they had to put a safe in, or a vault in there. So we have we keep all our cookie crime recipes in there.
Mostly just ingredients.
Yeah, in truth, it's a stock room now for us. But it's been a novelty to just say, yeah, we have a vault.
The vault didn't really, it was cool. It was a cool addition to say, oh yeah, we have a vault, we're cookie crimes and haha. But I think we would have picked this location whether or not we had the vault in there. I think, like I've said before, I think that it just was meant to be. This is where Cookie Crimes was meant to be.
Festival Square wasn't here when we signed the lease. We knew it was planned, and it was like 2-foot wide gravel path along the glass to get to the store. And so the vision of this, we had heard on paper, but we kind of had to take it on faith that this was going to be the right fit for us. We kind of felt like it made sense to be in downtown. For a small business opening up, you just can't buy foot traffic. And I think we really complement the businesses around us really well.
I love our 6th Street neighbors. 6th Street is the best street. That's all I have to say about that.
There's so many mom and pop shops here, I don't think people realize. I mean, just going up and around the block, there are, 60 plus businesses out there easily.
A lot of us other business owners do try our best to support other businesses, and especially the mom and pops. It's as an owner, it's very important to do our best to put our money where our mouths are, basically. Like, we practice what we preach, and we do our best to support local, buy our books local, buy our spices local, buy our clothing local. It really does benefit the whole community.
Yeah, when you support local, your dollars stay local. I really do feel that it's almost a fiscal responsibility as a citizen to support local businesses, even if it's just a touch more. I think the cost otherwise is not worth it. I feel like there's always been a bit of a bias about downtown. There's kind of been an attitude or a feeling about it, but being here regularly, day after day, downtown is a vibrant part of our city, and I don't think people realize what they're missing out on. There's so many more reasons to come downtown, and you can't just write it off. Please come check it out.
I don't think I consider myself a criminal. I think Riley is more of a flavor criminal than I am. But I think everyone can be considered a cookie criminal in the Cookie Crimes family. I believe that we are the mom and pop of the Cookie Crimes family, but I don't think anyone is truly a criminal when it comes to food. I'm not a criminal.
When we had our grand opening, we had the police chief here. And so we got him on record because we asked him if anybody'd be prosecuted or charged with a cookie crime. And he confirmed that cookie-related crimes are safe. So you're good there.